my name is Ariel. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to another video. So today I will be filling you in on what's been going on in my IVF journey since my last video, which was my shots. So since my shots, I have done a egg retrieval. I started shots on July 11th. I did shots up until the Saturday or the Sunday? The Saturday, which was July 20th. My trigger shot was Sunday, July 21st. My transfer was on Tuesday, July 23rd. So I did my trigger shot at work. Let me just tell you, that went horrible. So I think I still have the video or the pictures from that day. So if I do, I'll insert it right now. I'm at work. My husband Branden comes to my work. We have to do it at 9:30. So he gets there at 9 o'clock. I take my break. So because my break is about like a 20-minute break. So I waited a little bit. I waited till like 9:10, I think, to take my break. I think I waited till like 9:10 or something to take my break. Anyways, so Branden gets there. I take my break. If you hear a noise, it's Rocky in the back of me. I'm recording in my room. I don't know if you can tell, but so anyways, Branden gets to my work. I set everything up, and just as luck would have it, so I have this needle's like this large. You have to stick it into the medicine. You have to stick it in the liquid, then take out like 1 milliliter or whatever, then inject it into the powder like we do with the Menopur and Cetrotide. So whatever, I do that. I mix it like I'm supposed to. I break down the powder. Then a couple minutes goes by, so I'm like, whatever. I go to take out the liquid now to keep it in the vial, like not in the vial, oh my god, into the tubing, so I can switch the needle, because you're not supposed to use that big needle, you're supposed to use the small needle. Anyways, I end up can't get it out. So I end up switching between the big needle, the small needle. I bend the small needle. So now I am stressing out because I need to take this shot exactly at 9:30. I cannot be late. It's already now 9:20. I now take my husband and we run up to maternity. I work in a hospital. And we were doing this in my office, like in my I'm a housekeeper, so we were doing it in the housekeeping office. So I now take my husband, we have to run to the hospital to get to maternity, which my office is on the ground floor. I have to go up to the second floor, but the elevator that's near my office doesn't bring you up to maternity. So I now have to run through the hospital to get up to maternity. Then I have to get paged in, so I'm texting my assistant in the meantime. I'm like, I can't get the medicine out of the vial. I bent the needle. I need help. My sister's CNA on maternity. Well, she's a CNA, but she is a HUC, which is like a health unit coordinator, which is basically just a receptionist. So she's a receptionist on maternity. She does have her CNA license. She was a CNA for like 15 years, but she didn't want to do it anymore, so she applied for maternity and got the job. Anyways, we run upstairs. The nurse ends up helping us like get out the medicine. What I should have done is, instead of flipping the bottle and trying to like take out the medicine that way, I should have like kept the bottle like this way and then inject the medicine. Like, should have taken out the medicine this way instead of flipping the bottle, so the little bit of medicine that was left wouldn't go to the top. But I didn't think of that till later. When you're such in a panic, you don't think. So we get back down to my office. I clean the area, because now it's like 9:27 or 8 at this point, so we gotta inject the needle into my skin for the trigger shot. We switch the needles, we get it so like we bend it back to where it's not bent anymore. We make sure it works. Okay, the needle wouldn't go into my skin. Mind you, I've been doing shots at this point for like 12 days. It wouldn't go in my skin, and we've been using needles like that one all for the 12 days. Not the same needle, but they give you like a little like plastic baggie of like a bunch of like needles when you get your medicine, like IV medicine, IVF meds. I'm such rushing this, I can't speak. So when you get your IVF meds, they give you a bunch of needles. So you don't obviously use the same needle. So I have been using that like small little needle for the 12 days. Not the same like needle, but a needle like it. For 12 days. It wouldn't go in my skin for the trigger shot. We tried the big one. That wouldn't go through my skin, and that was just hurting a lot because that's not meant to go in your skin. I ended up getting like a puncture hole from the needle, and I was bleeding a lot from it actually. So we ended up switching back to the small needle just in time. I ended up telling Branden, I'm like, you are just gonna have to like jab it at this point because you're gonna have to get it through my skin. You can't go past 9:30. Like, it needs to be at 9:30, like no later. It has to be, this is a timed thing. The medicines are, you're supposed to do them around the same time every night. This one is an exact, like, you have to do it at 9:30. So we end up jabbing it in my skin. We get it, we get the medicine in finally. I'm like freaking out, close to crying. Done. So that was on Sunday. So Tuesday rolls around and we wake up by 6:30 in the morning. No, we woke up by 6 o'clock in the morning. We're out of the house by 6:30 in the morning to head to Waltham for my egg retrieval. And we're about an hour late for my egg retrieval at this point because traffic to get to Waltham is, so it's close to Boston. I don't know if anyone will know what that is, but Boston traffic in the morning is horrible. So we had to take another, my GPS told me to take another route. Well, they take us off the highway altogether, which took us through back roads, which was just the worst idea ever. I think we should have just stayed on the highway, but we didn't realize it was going to take us off the highway altogether, and then we couldn't get back on the highway. So I ended up calling, like freaking out, like, oh my god, I'm gonna just stop popping, like my ovaries are just gonna stop like ovulating, like my eggs are just gonna stop popping like popcorn. Like by the time I get there, they're not gonna get any of the eggs. Like, I stopped freaking out. I'm trying to call. The phone lines are still on like their voicemail, so it's like an answering service. No one's answering, so I call my clinic. They're like it's a branch off, so I go to Boston IVF and I go to the Providence branch. It's the one building in bunch of branches kind of thing. So I usually go to the Providence one for my like blood work, my ultrasounds, where my doctor is. That's the one I go to. For your major surgeries, you have to go to Waltham. So I'm now trying to call my clinic in Providence. They have the phones on voicemail too. Finally, someone from my clinic finally answers, and I'm like, listen, I know they have the voicemail set up. I know that they're not answering calls at this moment because they don't open up till like 9 o'clock, but I'm supposed to be there at 8:30. Like, my husband has to give his sample at 8:30. It's already 8:20. I am nowhere close to this like clinic at the moment. I'm so far away. I'm stuck in traffic. Like, I can't get there. They're like, okay, we'll send them, we'll have I was talking to the receptionist. She's like, all right, I'll have your nurse send over an email to Waltham letting them know that you're on your way, you're not canceling, but that you are stuck in traffic, not to worry about it. So I finally get to Waltham at 9:05. I think it was like 9:05. Yeah, 9:05. I get in. They have me go to register. I register. They call me back, and it's me, my cousin Jen, and Branden. They call me back. Branden had to wait in the waiting room because he had to give his sample, so my cousin Jen went back with me. And they get me set up. They have me go pee. They have me get into the gown. I wore my own socks because they tell you to wear warm socks, so I ended up wearing I ended up buying Branden like Nintendo 360 like socks with like a bunch of different like designs on them. It comes with like, you can't see that, but it's over there. And it came with like 4 different pairs of like socks. So I just grabbed one of the pairs, and that's what I wore for my retrieval. Like I said, if I have any videos or pictures at this point, I will insert it, but if I do, I'll insert it now. So they get me set up, they give me the IV. Branden now ends up coming back with me while like me and my cousin Jen are in the back. Branden ends up coming in the back with us. I meet with the doctor who's doing my surgery. I meet with the anesthesiologist, and they're all nice. And then what else happens? Oh, when the doctor came to meet with me, he's like, you know, so this is how it's gonna go. He's like, for your day of transfer, he's like, we'll transfer 1 embryo depending on how many we get and how many last, and how many fertilize is depending on the day you transfer. So basically, if you get more than 4, I think it's more than 4, you can wait till day 5. If you don't get more than 4, you go day 3. So I went Tuesday, July, Tuesday, July 23rd. So depending on that, I would either go Friday the 26th or Sunday the 28th. And they would call me they would tell me that day how many they got. Yes. They got. I think they would tell me that day how many they got, and then they would call me the next day. Yeah, they told me that day of my surgery how many they got out of me, like how many eggs they got, and then they would call me the next day to let me know how many were mature and how many fertilized. Because they call you 24 hours after. So, a lady comes to talk to me, and she's like, we're gonna be taking you back soon. She's like, I just want you to know that we're gonna have the doctor in there, the anesthesiologist, a couple nurses. She's like, so you're gonna kind of feel like everyone's coming around you. And she's like, and they're all there. She's like, so don't get too anxious. We'll talk to you for a couple minutes. We'll get your name. We'll get everything settled, and then we'll put you to sleep and we'll do the procedure. It's about 20 to 30 minutes. A little bit longer depending on how many eggs you get, and then like how many eggs they get. And then we'll put you in recovery. We'll wait till you wake up, and then if you need pain medicine, we'll get you pain medicine. If not, then we'll get your husband, and we'll let you know how many eggs you got, and then we'll send you on your way. Make sure you're like all set to go. So like, okay. So I go back for surgery. They get me on the bed. They put my legs in they have these, so they have a kind of like an OR bed, and then they have these 2 poles that come up, and they have just like kind of like almost like leather straps, except for they have like fur in them, so you kind of like your legs like sit in them, so your legs are open for the surgery. And they asked me to put my legs into they covered obviously my lady parts, and then they had me put my legs into the holes of the, I don't know what it's called, the thing, whatever. So they had me put my legs in them, and if I can find a photo, I will show you now kind of what it looks like. So they had me put my legs in kind of like the pole with the, kind of looks like a handcuff, so we're gonna call it a handcuff. So they had me put my legs in the handcuffs, and just rest in there. They told me to like situate myself to where my hips wouldn't hurt, so when I wake up my hips not hurting and everything. So I got my body to where it was comfortable, I had my head back, and they said, okay, we're gonna count to, we're gonna put the medicine on now, like break the mask on you now, and we're gonna count, and then you'll be knocked out. 1, 2, maybe 3, and I was out for the count. I don't remember anything from surgery, obviously, but when I did wake up, I was in a lot of pain. So when I woke up, it was about, I think she said an hour. I want to say like an hour and 30 minutes, maybe. I don't remember how long it was, but it was quite a while that I was like in surgery and then sleeping for. I woke myself up. They did not wake me up. I ended up waking myself up. And she asked me how I was, and I told her I was in a lot of pain. They said that I would feel cramping, and I told her this is not cramping, this is pain. She said, okay, we'll get you some medicine. They got me medicine, and it didn't touch me. It from a 10, it brought me maybe down to a 9, but no. That was for like maybe 5 minutes, and I was back up again. And I told her, like, no. She's like, how are you feeling now? And I let her know, like, I am in a lot of pain. She said, okay, I'll get you another dose. By that time, Branden and my cousin Jen went to get the car. Branden came back with me. And I let him know I was in a lot of pain. Like, a lot of pain. So she gave me my second dose, which made me feel high. High. Like the world was just woo. And that actually made my pain kind of disappear until about 5 minutes down the road, and then I got my pain back. But that kind of worked. So she asked me if I wanted anything. I asked for some. Hi. The cat is now in the room. Hello, Schmitten. Hey, dog. Can you say hi? Hi. That's E-Dog for everybody who doesn't know E-Dog. You usually know Rocky. He's in the videos. He's actually right there. So anyways, back to the video. I didn't do my video with me. So anyway, she asked me if I would like anything. I told her some animal crackers. She said okay. She went to go grab me some animal crackers. She then came over with like the poppable heating pads. Wait, she's like, just keep this on your like put this like over the Johnny and keep that on your stomach. That'll help you feel a lot better, which it did. Once I got dressed, I got to keep it, I tucked my shirt into my jogging pants and just kept it like under my jogging pants but over my shirt so I wouldn't burn myself because it really was hot. And we found out they got 16 eggs, which was great actually. We weren't expecting that many because a couple days leading up to my last ultrasound and even my egg retrieval, they just the numbers kept getting wonky. We got told 11, then we got told 9, then we're getting told 10. The day of surgery we got told 9, and then finally we got told 16. So me and Branden were really happy. Although for anyone that is going through IVF or has been through IVF, you know that the number of eggs that you retrieve is not always the number you keep. Not the number you keep, just the numbers decrease because some eggs don't make it. Some embryos, even if they fertilized, some embryos don't always make it to day 5. And then so they told me I could go on Sunday to transfer. So come the next day, and I couldn't even, so we drive home that day and I am in a lot of pain. I slept most of the way home. I finally got home, and I live on the 3rd floor. It was so hard for me to walk up the stairs. It was just horrible. So I end up getting up my stairs finally, stopping at, when you come through my door, there's like as soon as you walk through my door, on your left hand side is the fridge. Because you're walking into my dining room, basically. So I had to literally take 5 minutes just standing at the fridge, like leaning on the fridge. Just, I couldn't walk anymore. It hurt too bad. I then told Branden, I was like, I need to get to the couch. I can't go to bed because my bed is too high for me to just get into. I would have to like kind of like climb or hop into bed, and I was in too much pain, hunched over, and I couldn't. You're so cute. So I was like, I can't do that. That's not possible. I need the couch where I can just kind of like fall onto the couch and I could be comfortable. So in the meantime, I end up going to the couch, finally making it to my living room, finally falling on the couch. Like, not falling, but kind of like, yeah, falling on the couch. Branden had gotten me a blanket and a pillow, and I passed out for like hours. Finally wake up, and I'm telling Branden I was still in pain. So they told me I could take Tylenol, and ibuprofen or Advil, I think. I know it was definitely Tylenol. So I took Tylenol, and still wasn't touching me. So I went back to sleep, woke up, I think I was hungry, I maybe ate something, but that day I was just out for the count, like done. I was so much pain, that exhausted me, and I didn't expect to be that tired. I didn't expect to be in that much pain from surgery, because when they tell you about surgery, they tell you you'll feel mild cramping, you might bleed a little bit, but it should be a couple hours to maybe that day, and then you'll be all set. Well, lead this to the next day, and I am still in massive pain. So I called my fertility clinic, and I'm like, listen, had my surgery yesterday, and I am still in a lot of pain. She's like, okay. She's like, you know, take some Tylenol, lay on the couch, take it easy for the day, and let me know how you are tomorrow. I was like, okay. So I don't know if I called them the next day. So that was on Tuesday. Yeah, so I called them Wednesday. So Wednesday I call her. Yeah, so the next day I call her. So that's when she tells me, like, take it easy, drink lots of fluids, drink vitamin water, drink lots of vitamin water, not really to drink water, but drink lots of vitamin water, eat lots of protein, if it gets worse, go to the ER. And I was like, well, the ER really isn't gonna know what to do for anything fertility related, like, really. So I decided not to go to the ER. I was in a lot of pain, but I decided not to go to the ER because I would have went there. They would have told me, like, take this medicine and go home. Basically, that's really all they can do. So come to find out, I ended up with something called OHSS, which is ovarian hyperstimulation, which basically means that once they took out my eggs, my sacs filled back up with fluid, and the fluid was leaking into my abdomen, which is why they monitor you during shots. It could happen up to a couple of days later to a week later after your egg retrieval, and it occurs mostly in women younger, and women who ends up with a lot of eggs. So women in their 30s and over tend to not get OHSS as quickly or at all because of your age. So because I am 27 and because they got 16 eggs out of me, I got it. So this is why I was in so much pain after surgery, which is why I was in so much pain the next day. So come Thursday, July 25th. Hold on, I'm trying to plug my phone in, sorry. Yes, July 25th, I end up in Waltham again. They wanted me to go to Waltham to visit with the doctor at 8 a.m. So I go to Waltham and I meet with them, and they are taking my vital signs, they're checking my weight, because if you gain weight too quickly, if you can't breathe when you are like sitting down or like that means that the blood or the fluid is basically building into your lungs, and it could cause serious problems, which I knew about from the videos they had me watch. So with that being said, I ended up not being able to transfer on the Sunday. They told me that they were gonna go talk to the doctor, one of the doctors that were there, and he would decide whether I could transfer or not. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm sitting on the floor and it's not very comfortable. Okay. So the nurse ended up coming in, talking to me, letting me know that she was gonna go talk to the doctor, but that most likely I would not be able to transfer on Sunday like I wanted to. This is not gonna work, is it? Okay, so she ends up going to talk to the doctor, and literally not even 5 minutes later comes back and was like, he said no. Right off the bat said no, for you in this much pain, transfer wouldn't work because you would be in more pain with transfer, and it would just, the risks aren't good if you're in pain for transfer. It might fail and we don't want to risk that. So I said okay. She said so we're going to cancel transfer for Sunday. It's going to be about a couple days till it relieves itself. I didn't have the worst case of it. I had a mild to moderate case of OHSS. Basically, it lasted from that Sunday when I got the trigger shot, when I gave myself the trigger shot, she said up to about a week later. So I was almost at a week. She said so it should be over in a couple days. I'll start to get relief then. Once I get my period, it'll definitely be out of my system, and to make an appointment that day to meet with my doctor, my fertility doctor, within the next couple days, so by the time I got my period I could transfer because I wouldn't have to wait that long. Wrong. Just my luck. Let me tell you, just my luck. So that was on Thursday. The Sunday actually comes, and I didn't work that entire week. I ended up taking the entire week out of work. I have something at work called FMLA, which is basically you file for it. It's kind of like a short-term disability thing where if you have anything medical going on, you kind of just apply for this, and my work cannot touch me. I can't get fired. It's because it's medical. So that's what I end up using. For that week. So that Sunday comes, and I thought to get a little bit of relief. Not too much, but a little bit of relief. So that Monday comes, and I'm back to work, and I'm still in a little bit of pain, but it's not as bad. Well, I ended up working that week, making the appointment, and my period comes on the 4th. So just my luck, my camera stopped recording. So I ended up getting my period on August 4th. It's now August 6th. And I go tomorrow, August 7th, back to Providence at, it was supposed to be at 11. I go now at 1:30, to meet with the doctor. And I got told over the phone, I am not going to be able to transfer this month. I have to wait for another cycle. Yay! So I might have to wait till September. But I plan on asking her and talking to her tomorrow, just to find out why. Because I got told that because I ended up with OHSS, from Waltham that it wasn't my fault that I couldn't transfer, so that they shouldn't have to go back through they shouldn't have to go back through my insurance company, that it should just work with my first round, and that I wouldn't miss a cycle. Like, just because I ended up with OHSS, that once I got my period, that I could meet with my doctor and I should be able to transfer. So why is Waltham telling me one thing and now my doctor wants to do something completely different is just bullshit to me. Sorry, but it's just crap. So I now am going to the doctor tomorrow and I'm going to talk to her. Unfortunately, Branden has to work, so I'll be there by myself, but I do plan on asking her, like, why am I waiting? Like, I got my period, it's heavy, it's painful, a normal period. Why am I waiting for another cycle when Waltham told me I didn't have to, and Waltham told me that I wouldn't lose out on a cycle? Because excuse you, bless you, oh my god, that just scared the crap out of me. Because my insurance company is only allowing me, I think it's 3 rounds unauthorized, and then if those 3 rounds don't work, I can go back for 3 more, and but they would need authorization. So I only have 3 rounds. We already basically used up 1. You're going for 2. If that doesn't work, I only have 1 round left. So 1 is already used up. I have 2 left. If this next one fails, I only have 1 left after that. Like, what the hell? Like, I understand, like, you couldn't use the first, like, round, because you applied for a fresh one. We're doing a frozen transfer. I get that. But at the same time, it's like I got overstimulated and now I couldn't use the round. That's not my fault. It's just the way my body worked. So I don't feel like I should lose out on a round. I will take what I get. I shouldn't be selfish. Most people can't even go through IVF, so I understand I sound a little selfish. I get that, but at the same time, we prepared to go through a transfer in August, and now that's not happening. So I'm just a little upset. We did get the email, well, I got the email yesterday, because after the first 24 hours, they don't tell you about your embryos until the day you transfer, or the day before your transfer, which I think kind of sucks. Like, they don't tell you anything, so you could end up with no embryos, and then finally the day before you're supposed to transfer, they call you and be like, sorry, it didn't work. Like, that's just shitty. But anyways, I ended up with, after egg retrieval, I ended up with 16 eggs, 13 were mature, and 11 fertilized. And I actually will insert that clip now of me telling my mom. Are you ready? Okay, where's Jamie?
Jamie, wants you too, so he goes on camera. Let's get our reactions on camera. Go ahead.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Out of the 16 eggs that they retrieved yesterday, 13 were mature, 11 fertilized.
Alright!
So I'm going Sunday for my transfer.
Oh my god!
Like I said, it might decrease from then. So, anyways, we got the email yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I'm gonna read you exactly what it says. So I got the email July 29th. I didn't see this email till just yesterday, so I guess I got an email on July 29th. It says, cycle freeze report. Please use caution. This email was sent for someone outside of our organization. Dear Ariel, The Boston IVF embryologist lab carefully monitored the development of your embryos, and we want to let you know that we have been able to freeze 6 embryos. It is common that some embryos will develop to a stage where they can be frozen while others develop too slowly or stop developing, which means that they cannot be frozen, and any embryos from your cycle that did not develop to the stage where they could be frozen were discarded. We understand that you may have expected that your number of frozen embryos would be higher or lower than the number actually frozen. There are many reasons of this variation, so if it is important for you to schedule an appointment with your doctor to go over your specific cycle details. Your laboratory team at Boston IVF wishes you all the best of luck. Best wishes. So out of the 16 eggs, 13 were mature, 11 fertilized, 6 of them made it to blastocyst, which is stage 5, maybe stage 6. So basically, if you do a fresh transfer, they, depending on how many you have and how many embryos make it, they would either let you go on day 3, like I said in the beginning, or day 5. I ended up getting 11 embryos, 11 fertilized, so they ended up, because I couldn't transfer on that Sunday, I have to now do a frozen. They let them go, I'm guessing till day 5 or 6, but honestly that was the, oh wait, hold on a minute, that was July 29th. Okay, so we did our transfer on the 23rd, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 days after our egg retrieval. And 6 days after our egg retrieval, and we had 6 embryos that made it to blastocyst, which is they're ready for implantation to make a baby. We did not do PGS testing on our embryos because of the fact it was $2,000 to $4,000, and we just did not have that. And my insurance company wouldn't pay for it, so we did not end up doing the PGS testing. So out of those, what are normal, I'm not sure the ratio of what are normal, what are gonna make it, what are not gonna make it. We just know that we have 6 embryos that are frozen that we can use. So I plan on asking the doctor tomorrow when I meet with her, like, what is the plan? Because what do we do? I wasn't prepared for a frozen transfer. I was ready to go for a fresh one, but I understood that because of the pain I was in, it wouldn't make it. But here we are now. So you guys are all caught up on our embryos and our IVF so far. And I will be recording tomorrow to let you guys know how it goes. Alright, bye guys.